Hi everyone, Joe again, and this time we're going to be talking about Bikeys and uploading your own Bikeys to the server and which ones you should and shouldn't use. So let's have a look at some actual mods and what a Bikey actually is before we dig into it. So if I go to the Arma 3 directory and we open, so this is a mod that I found on the interwebs today and thought that I wouldn't mind checking it out. And if we look inside of a typical file, we can see that there's an add-on directory which has got all of the core files, and there's usually a BySign file that sits right next to the primary file, and this is an embedded signature that confirms that this file is correct, and the server uses this here, these Bykey files, to authenticate that the BySign is correct, that the file is correct, and that as a user you're not trying to log on to the server with a mod that hasn't been authorized or mod files that haven't been authenticated. So it's an anti-cheat thing, but it also doubles as helping people know that they've got the right version of mod, that they've got the right mods activated. So let's have a look at the mod that I was wanting to use, which is this one here, which is the VSM vests and helmets. We can see here that it doesn't require any other mod, which is good, and it is signed with server keys. So if this doesn't say yes and server keys, I wouldn't typically use it. If we go to the interface, you can see that you can actually switch keys off if you wanted to, but that will mean it pretty much it's a free-for-all. Anyone can have anything that they want in there, which is like there are mods that allow console commands so that you're invulnerable, the ability to automatically turn the arsenal anytime you want. There's all kinds of mods out there. So that's kind of a dangerous one, especially if you're not 100% familiar with everybody that's playing on your server. Also too, it prevents a lot of arguments just to switch the keys on. Alright, so I found this mod. Now the important thing to remember about mods is that they don't necessarily need to be activated on the server. Now this is something that requires you guys to test it out. I mean, we can follow some general rules here, but you do need to test it yourself because some mods are created in such a way that they do need to be initialized on the server. Once upon a time, a lot of people used to actually say that it's client side only or server side only or both, but they've stopped saying it for some reason. But at the end of the day, this is the general rule. Any kind of vehicle or map or object that has multiple places that interact with a player. So if you look at a vehicle, it has seats, it interacts with players. The server needs to know where to put those players if they join it, how it's going to traverse to the next location, and obviously a map needs to be on the server in order for it to know where to go. Anything that interacts with elements on the battlefield that are created by the server, like for example mods that use AI improvements, you could initialize it on the client and it won't seem to be a problem, but that will not mean that the server is initializing it as well. Alright, so they're kind of the things that need to be initialized on the server. So things that don't necessarily need to be initialized on the server are things like vests, helmets, uniforms, handheld weapons, and equipment like that. So this is a great example. It doesn't have any vehicles, there are no landscapes. It looks like it's using pretty much some straightforward vests, helmets, and perhaps weaponry and things like that. So I can technically put the keys for this on the server and the mod should run fine. So I've downloaded the file and I've already popped it into my Arma 3 directory. And I've launched my game with that mod active. There it is down there. So let's go to my server. So the mod is not inside of here. So if we went to equipment, there would be a mod in here that says helmets VSM, but it's not here. But I still want to use the mod, so I can actually upload the keys to the server and then that will give the client, me, permission to enter the game with those mods active. I hope this all makes sense. If none of this makes any sense, or if you want some more, if you've got some more questions, you can go to our community section and just leave a message here under general discussions. Or if you wanted to contact us directly, you can just come into here under general inquiries and just shoot us an email, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as we can. But I will upload the keys to the server now. Well, technically I'm going to do it in 2 stages. The keys will work similar to the way that the missions work. It'll actually upload the files and it will store them under my name so that I'm the owner of those files. So first thing I'm going to do is, this particular mod has 2 sets of keys. If we go back to here, which is a little unusual, but that's okay. We can upload both keys individually. So I'm going to upload what's called VSM Vests. So I'm just going to give it a name, so it's a description down here that we can see. I'm going to browse to the key, so go to the Arma directory, go to the mod directory, find the keys. They're not all set up like this. You'll need to sort of search them out, but they typically are set up this way, which is good that our standards sort of developed or evolved. And I'm going to select the buy key like that, and I'm going to save it. And we can see here now that it's come up with the name that we gave it, the VSM Vests. I can just tick it to activate it. I can edit it if I want, or I could delete it if I want to. Alright, let's upload the next one. So this is going to be the VSM helmets. And we'll grab the helmet file and we'll save that, and we'll tick both of those. We'll select a map, that one will do. Now I'm going to select the map. I'm going to select the 2 keys that I want to be pushed to the server, and I'm going to push update and restart. This is a new thing. We've actually got this tracker here to tell you that Arma 3 is launching, so once it's launched, this will actually tell you that it's ready to go. Before, you kind of had to just wait and you didn't know whether or not it was doing anything, so this is actually a nice visual. Alright, so it's changed and basically saying that it's up and running. So let's hop inside of our game. And we'll connect to our server. Okay. Now remember, no mods technically have been activated on the server, but my current game actually has that mod activated. So if I get in, that's good, and I'm in. So what's happened is, because we've uploaded those keys, it's allowed us in, and this is very important for administrators of the servers. It's a great tool and allows you and opens up a lot of mods that you can now upload or use on the server, but there are a lot of rules and you will need to sort of test them out and get to know how keys and Bikeys work. And like I said, ask us questions if you've got any. We're pretty much as close to an expert as there is. If I now hop into my mission, and we'll just go in there. Okay, so I'm inside of the mission. If I go to, I'm just going to get some points. Hang on a second. Yes. So we've got a virtual arsenal here. If I hop inside the virtual arsenal, and I go to vests, and there they all are. So we can actually see that all of our mod vests have been brought through. So there you go. So there are a lot of mods that can work purely on the client. That's just the player. And all you really need to do is upload the keys to the server to allow them through. But like I said, there are some tricks and rules, and my advice is that perhaps create a server for an hour, test it out maybe with a couple of friends, make sure it works properly, make sure it doesn't crash, or all those kind of things. And if you're comfortable that it's working, you can just keep those keys in your files list and activate them whenever you want. Anyway, I hope that all helps you improve your game. I'll stop babbling and I'll see you guys on the battlefield.